everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Eric Summerer. Hi.
What? Invading my board game breakfast?
What? I'm hungry.
Oh.
Because it's a breakfast.
Yeah, that was a joke I got. Okay. So welcome to Board Game Breakfast, a show where we talk about board games, board game news, and all sorts of things. We just got off of one of our Dice Tower retreats, which was why Eric is here.
Yes, it was great.
That is what I have heard. And then a couple of things. First of all, later today at 10 o'clock a.m., I'll be doing my live Q&A, so come by and talk to me then. And then this week there will be no weekend review. We'll do a double-sized version of that next week. Oh, and live, top 10 surprise of the year tomorrow at noon.
Ooh.
Are you surprised?
I'm surprised. I had no idea that was happening. So it's a surprise.
Let's get to the news. Let's take a look at the news. Eric has no idea about most of this.
It'll be a surprise.
Well, maybe. You can tell me if you heard about it.
Sure.
Did you know Sagrada was having expansions?
I did not know that.
Okay, this is they did the 5 to 6 player expansion.
Yes, I knew about that one.
Now they're doing a series of 3 expansions called the Great Facades. Is that, I don't think. How do you pronounce it?
How do you spell that? Facades.
Facades, right. Anyhow, it's they're based on like a series of windows on the life and death of Jesus, I think. Like they're called Passion, Life, and Glory.
So yes, absolutely.
So the first one is Passion. It's going to have some clear dice that are wild, but you can only have one.
All right.
In your thing, and other stuff. Okay, also, Shards of Infinity is going digital.
All right.
They've already done Ascension, which is one of my favorite digital games, so I'm sure Shards of Infinity would be also good.
Sure.
IDW is making some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. Have you even played the first one yet?
I haven't. No.
So these are going to be standalone expansions. Each comes with 5 new heroes. I'm assuming it's the turtles in each one. They're probably just different variations of it.
Right. Well, is it different eras of turtles?
Well, the first one's called Change is Constant, which covers the first 2 comics in the IDW universe, which are amazing, and you should read them if you get a chance.
Okay.
And the next one's called City Fall, where one of the turtles finds himself as a member of the Foot Clan. There's a question mark. Undercover, I don't know.
Okay.
It's probably Donatello.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Really? I always didn't like Raphael.
Well, we all can like Michelangelo.
Sure.
Okay. Level 99 is making a version of Exceed. You probably haven't played Exceed. It's one of their 2-player fighting games.
Okay.
But they're making Street Fighter. So they're coming with packs of 4 characters each. We'll see if the Ryu Ken pack is the most popular.
Yes, it will be.
I'm disappointed, though, by this because there's no Dawson in these initial ones, and he's my favorite character.
Really?
Did you play Street Fighter?
He had the extendable limbs. He had the
like me, look at his awesome arm. No, who was your favorite character?
I liked the long reach of Dulcie. Blanca, I think, may have been one I liked a lot with the electrical attack. So
I don't know if he's in it or not, but you can see in the picture here. Okay, all right. Skybound, they're the folks who did Who Goes There.
Okay.
They've announced Walking Dead, Something to Fear. This is a 2-player competitive card game, another Walking Dead game. This one is using artwork from the comics itself, or it looks like artwork from the comics, or maybe not artwork from the comics, but it's drawn to look like the comics.
Okay.
And then Valor and Villainy, which is a really generic name.
That could be anything.
But it's a 1 versus all game, and I saw that they showed me a bit of this. It has some really neat systems going around, kind of adventuring. It looks really good, and I always like their art. One person is playing Mordok.
Who's Mordok?
The bad guy. All right, Star Wars Legion has included the Imperial Death Troopers and director Orson Krennic, who is the bad guy in Rogue One.
Yes.
The guy who will not land by your house. He will land really far from your house.
Make you walk.
He will walk to your house, giving you time to hide.
What's most important is that his first name is Orson, and I did not know that. I just knew he was director Krennic. His name's Orson.
That's probably why he doesn't. Someone calls him Orson. He's like, "Excuse me, that's director." And then finally, Ludonaut has Spacegate Odyssey. Spacegate Odyssey. Now, this is what I did show to Eric. The artwork of this one done by Vincent Dutrait. The designer of this is one of the designers of Yggdrasil. This looks amazing. I mean, The Ludonaut makes great games. Their last one, Rising 5. They redid Manhattan. They're just really, I'm really liking what they do. This one here, you're building these space modules and who knows what else, but it looks like a really involved game.
And it looks very, you mentioned Rising 5, the style, of course it is Vincent Dutrait, but it looks very similar. It's certainly thematically, artistically similar in its look.
Well, that's the regular news. Let's go to Kickstarter.
Hello, fellow gamers. 'Tis the season, and you know what that means. If you buy enough Kickstarters in December, then you have the winter holiday all year, as you're left desperately waiting for your Kickstarters to come in. So, let's get these personal gifts taken care of. Featured this week, we have Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon by Awakened Realms. This is for 1 to 4 outcast heroes looking to explore the vast world of Avalon, as the choices you make throughout the game will evolve and change not only the story, but the very landscape and the people you come across in this 2 to 3 hour campaign that uses no dice for combat, but a cooperative card system where even your character's diplomacy matters. This epic storytelling game will cost you $89 to get started, but is bountiful with miniatures and even comes with a quick save component tray to keep track of your campaign. Now, I know what you're thinking. We have not seen enough Cthulhu references lately, so this next game, Cultist Storm by Purple Meeple Games, is certainly going to drive you mad, as 3 to 5 investigators join forces to take down cultists and the Elder God. But that's not the most interesting part of all of this, as the creators have doubled down on the theme for this game, creating a book with over 21 stories, a music soundtrack, and one of the most amazing game boxes I have ever seen, as they've tried to create not only a game, but a truly immersive experience for 75 to 120 minutes. Now, this game has an all-in pledge of $139 because they really want you to have that full and horrific experience for your game table. So, after all of these heavily story-influenced games, let's go down and check out something a bit more realistic, like Mecha-Enabled Chickens. In the War for Chicken Island by Draco Studios. This game is for 2 to 4 chickens with a grudge and an amazingly advanced mechanical skill who are ready to fight to take over Chicken Island in this skirmish game where players build a map and then they look for resources, all while trying to protect their chicken leader. Players can also build powerful mechs and use their chickens to pilot them, stomping across the board to humiliate their opponents for about 30 to 240 minutes. This game costs $45 to start, but if you want those adorable chicken miniatures included, it starts at $57. Lastly, I think we can all sit back and relax, taking a sip of Chai by Deep Aqua Games. This is for 1 to 5 tea connoisseurs wanting to collect sets of ingredients at the lowest price to maximize money, while also satisfying those thirsty tea drinkers and gaining tips for 20 to 60 minutes. This is a lighter game that focuses on ingredient management and on drafting those customers before the other players get to. A pledge for Chai will cost you $50, but I guarantee it will last you a lot longer than that cup of tea. Thank you so much for joining me this week, guys. If you're interested in hearing about more of these Kickstarters that you saw today, then go to gloryhound.com. That's gloryhound with 2 Ds. And you'll be able to see me live with 2 other crazy people talking about these Kickstarters in depth. And you can join in on the conversation as it is a live show, which I love because I love hearing from you guys. Other than that, I will see you guys all next week.
When I want to play a tactical war game, I want to feel the earth under my feet. I want to smell the exhaust from the tanks. Not many games give you that. This one does. Now, the game I'm going to talk about today is Heroes of Normandy. This is a tactical game. That means that you can see the white of their eyes. It's boots on the ground. It's man to man. You get 6 geomorphic maps, 6 sheets of counters, 670 of them, a color rule module book, color core book, 31 scenarios, 5 player aid cards. He even throws in 2 dice. Thanks, man. So what Lock and Load did is that they created a system around this game to make it very personal. How? Well, first of all, they created a novel where you can read the stories or download from their website an MP3 reenacting these stories of the characters in the game, which you're gonna play, so you're gonna be very careful not to lose the man because it's personal. Once you familiarize yourself with the core rules, the module rules are only 6 pages long. Now these core rules involve everything you want to know about all the playing pieces, all the scenarios. You want to know about foxholes? Read that little section or that little paragraph. You want to know about wires, how it impedes your enemies? Read that little paragraph. I'll be saying, oh man, this is super complex. It's not complex at all. It's very well written, it's only detailed, and it's actually got large fonts for old guys like me who are going blind. You're going to be fighting a battle called the Battle of the Bulge. And it's a huge thing unto itself. What they did is they created an expansion for just that scenario. It's called Noville, Bastogn's Outpost. And what you get with the expansion is one 22 by 34 inch map, 2 sheets of 160 plus counters, a color module booklet which is 6 pages long, and 6 extra scenarios, bringing your total right now to about 40. They have an extra add-on to the expansion called We Stand Alone, and these are the guys from the Band of Brothers, the 101st Airborne, going through Europe doing their thing. And that with an extra 16 scenarios, so you're well over 55 scenarios. Heroes of Normandy, Lock and Load's tactical system, immersive, gut-wrenching, very personal. What a great Christmas present. If you want to know more about war games like these, please check out my channel, No Enemies Here. Thank you very much.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes. This week's segment, From the Page to the Table. This week I'm going to take a look at a book and a board game that really kind of are icons for a lot of people my age, and that is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. Perhaps one of the best science fiction books ever written, and definitely one of my favorite realistic science fiction books. Crichton creates this world that is believable. You totally buy into his science and everything that he tells you and writes about. Got a cast of characters which sometimes want to make the right choices but then don't, and they end up getting it's just wonderful. It's wonderful even if you haven't seen the movie. It's wonderful even if you have seen the movie because there's so many differences between the two. Now, this week I've picked Jurassic Park Danger. All right. You could have picked this, one of my all-time favorite Brunos, or I could have picked Dinosaur Island. But remember that this segment is about a book and a board game that share each other's theme. And this is Jurassic Park, the book. Again, you have a cast of characters with individual player powers that are so reminiscent of their characteristics in the book. You're all the people on the island looking to flee the dinosaurs. I like that this game is available at Target because it makes it a little more accessible for the general population. And it's a decent game. It's not necessarily my favorite of the three that I held up and showed, but I think it really captures the spirit of the game, which is really a hidden movement and chase scene. That's all for this week. Happy breakfast, everyone.
All right, so what's coming out from the Dice Tower this week?
Are you carrying the banner?
What banner?
You have a newsboy cap on.
Oh my goodness. No one watched that movie.
Lots of people watched that movie.
Lots of people watched that movie. I'm not seizing any day. Anyhow, so, I've never even seen the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It's amazing. The Broadway musical's better, but anyway, let's not get into that debate.
I'm sorry. So what's going to be up from the Dice Tower this week? We got a bunch of reviews. I'll be taking a look at all the Fireball Island expansions.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and some other reviews that I have not yet recorded, so you will see them when they come out. But the biggest thing, of course, is the top 10. We're going to be doing that live. Top 10 surprises of the year. It's games that we weren't sure about, and when we played them, we're like, whoa.
Oh,
It's
cool.
very impressive. And then some other things will be going up over the course of the week, and Eric and I's podcast, which we will have recorded by you watching this.
We will have.
And it was amazing.
It will have been amazing.
We're talking about our top 10 adventure games.
Sure we are.
Oh, we are, right?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good.
Yes.
We did.
We did and will be.
And you can find that and a lot of other great podcasts at DicetowerNetwork.com.
Happy breakfast, everybody. Today I'm going to talk to you about Pyramids of the Penguin. Now, this is an older game. I think it's called Curse of the Mummy, but I think it was in another language. Anyway, it's been reproduced and re-released by Brain Games with the Ice Call theme. Now, really, I'm a big fan of Ice Call and Ice Call 2, and they work really well together. But as a theme, it's maybe a bit light. It's maybe a little bit more in this one, because you're now not being flicked around or flicking around a high school, but the four penguins, which most players play as, are trying to work their way around a sort of a tomb, a pyramid, and they're trying to get certain treasures. You're given so many cards at the start of the game, and you've got to, on your turn, try and end on one of them. You reveal it, and then if you manage to reveal it all, you win. Now, the other players could be penguins, but one other person is the penguin, who is effectively the mummy that's running around, or at least trying to capture them by just bumping in. Now, it works. The actual sort of reasoning behind it makes sense. It's effectively sort of a Tomb Raider-y sort of thing. The theme is light. I'm not sure I actually prefer this. I like the idea of the old one where it's an actual mummy. That sounds to me much more appealing than trying to force the penguin theme onto this. The board's good, but it's just the magnets are maybe a little bit weak and it doesn't quite work out. So, all in all, it's a little bit of a weak theme, and weak magnets make for weak gameplay. It's got dice rolling, and that's for movement, and that's not actually the worst bit of the game. Anyway, that's Pyramid of the Penguin. Maybe avoid that one unless it really grabs you. Anyway, I'm Oliver East, signing out.
Two brothers set loose in a thrift store. This is Thrift Store Throwbacks.
Michael, thinking about steak tonight.
I can't afford steak.
You can afford it. It's payday. I can afford whatever I want.
Where'd you get that head?
I bought it at a garage sale in the Hamptons. Payday, baby. Do it. And booked.
What'd you just buy?
Got tickets to Maui for a vacation.
You can't afford that, man. You got like 10 days till payday.
Yeah, so we have plenty of time for vacation, okay? Well, we're just not going to go to the luau, okay? I don't even like pork anyway. But we're still going. On second thought, I think we should split that pizza you ordered.
You mean that personal pizza I just microwaved for myself?
Yeah, that one. The one with pepperoni. Give me half of it. I'm so cold and so hungry. I'm not gonna make it.
You're gonna make it. It's also 85 degrees outside. You know that, right?
I'm so poor. It's payday, Michael. Let's go eat with a meal. I don't care what we eat as long as it has gold flake in it. We're going to get creme brulee for Reginald here. All right, this is Payday. Payday is a game where you're trying to go through the month trying to get to payday. It is a dumb roll and move luck-filled game where you're going to roll the die and move that many spaces forward. If you land on something like a deal, you get a deal. And then you have some kind of company or something you can then sell if you land on find a buyer. You can go to the mail, which is mostly bills. You can go through, you can like win the lottery, or you can like win radio contests. You're just going through the certain amount of months that you decide at the beginning of the game, and then whoever has the most money wins. So that was Payday.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't even matter. It's okay. You can get stuff and then sell it and make money, and you're just trying to make it through the month. And like this just hits too close to home.
One thing I will say is I like the fact that like in the rules it says like you can decide to play as many months as you want.
Yeah, so that's all my thoughts on this game. Folks, right now we are in the middle of our top 100 games of all time right here on the Dice Tower.
It's probably like right in the middle.
It's probably like the 40s. Be doing yourself a favor there.
Yeah, I'll be doing yourself a favor there.
You'll be doing yourself a favor there, and do check out the top 100 if you want to have a good time on the internet. That's it, man. In the meantime, we'll see in the comment section of our top 100, man.
We'll see you there.
Hey,
everybody. Welcome back to another interview with creators. And today I am going all the way over to Latvia. We have Yanis and Egios from Brain Games. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, good to be here. Hello.
Now, you guys really are on the map. I mean, you've made several games, but the game that everybody talks about is Ice Cool. And this year you came out with Ice Cool 2, in which you could put them together and stuff. Where did the idea for this game come from?
You mean the base game? Well,
yeah.
Yeah. It was in a way, it was an accident, I guess. In a way, we were working on development for another game, and we were trying all kinds of different pieces for that game. And then one of our colleagues, also an author of the game, because there are 4 of us that hide under the name of Brian Gomez, brought these wobbly pieces. And then we tried those, and we figured, wow, look at them move, all these curves and things you can do. And so building from that piece, we got to Ice Cool. That's like a very, very short description of how we got there.
Yeah. We started flicking the pieces just on the table. Started flicking them around and started to play tags.
Yeah, tag also was one of the first things that we figured out. We should get a game of tag.
So, what made you decide to put it into a school setting?
Well, one of the first prototypes we had actually Ice Cool built out of walls, where you have where the whole field is like you put it with walls and pins, but the setup would take like 10 minutes. So
yeah, we played on the table. We didn't have boxes, and we didn't have a school at first. It was just like, well, Antarctica, ice mountains, and things like that. But then Egios here was very enthusiastic about using game boxes as a game piece, not just for like holding the game. And I laughed at the idea. I thought, come on, really? But then we put it together and it looked great. And at first, again, it wasn't a school. It was just boxes with the Antarctica theme. But then we thought, okay, so where does the tag happen? Where did the catching, where did people play tag most? And we thought probably at schools. So we went there, from that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Now, one of the things that it's in a school, you're going around and flipping, but you said that the original theme was Antarctica. Now, there's gaming all over the world, but there's not a lot of gaming in Antarctica because not as many folks live there. But we're now talking about going to Antarctica. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Well, for me, Antarctica is one of my personally dream destinations. So yeah, 2 years ago we had this idea of maybe giving away a trip to Antarctica, and right now we're having a contest where anyone's by submitting a video with an Ice Cool trick shot using a penguin in a box, a video that is more maybe creative rather than skill-based, might win a trip to Antarctica.
Yeah,
for 2 persons.
This is the point we want to stress. When you hear trick shot, you're thinking, oh man, it's like backflips and things like that. But no, I mean, it can be really simple. It doesn't have to be really like elaborate. So yeah, creativity is also a good point. So basically anyone can do it is what we're trying to kind of put out there.
Right. So if you're watching this show, actually, if you go to icecoolantarctica.com, you can put your own trick shot or your own unique video there, and you have a chance to win. I mean, there's not very many opportunities to go to Antarctica that I know of.
Yes, that's the point. Yeah,
exactly, and that's very limited amount of people who actually can go there. To book a trip to Antarctica, you have to really book like almost 2 years in advance.
So if they go to Antarctica, what does that really mean? What do you get when you go there? How does that work?
So that's a cruise ship, cruise tour of 10 days, leaving from Argentina in a very comfortable cruise ship in a double room. And exploring the Antarctica.
They have all these activities lined up for you. I mean, during one day you will head out and camp on the continent,
if you would wish.
Yeah. Nothing's obligatory. I mean, you can do. You can just stay in the hotel room or just stay on the ship, and they have. I mean, it's basically a really nice hotel on the sea. Yeah, so you don't have to do. But if you want to, you have all these opportunities to explore the Antarctica itself, including seeing real life penguins.
and kayaking in the Antarctic waters.
Yeah.
It would be a shame to waste such an opportunity. I hope that whoever wins takes Ice Cool with them and they play it in Antarctica. That seems like you have to do that, right?
Yeah. But Ice Cool Penguins have already been to Antarctica.
Oh, it has?
Yes, with our good friend, game designer
Martin Nesgard. Yeah, I think I hope I pronounced his surname correctly. Yeah, he already was on this cruise, and he took some of our penguins and the Ice Cool box with him. We can actually show some pictures of it as well.
Well, one of the things about Ice Cool is that you can make these amazing shots, sometimes by accident. I've seen some of the best shots. A kid comes up and they're like, oh, and they shoot, and everyone's just amazed at the fun things that they've done. And I'm sure you guys have seen some pretty incredible stuff over the years.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, well, yeah, we recently had the Ice Cool World Championship happening here in Riga, Latvia. And it was amazing to see the level actually of the final play, where four world's best players were playing Ice Cool. And you can see that it is a skill game, but at the same time, I mean, it's not pure skill, and the shots that the guys were making were really impressive and amazing, and actually North American won the world championship.
Yeah.
Woohoo! So with this, the game, when you announced the game, we knew, it's going to be, that looks like an interesting idea. Were you surprised at how popular it became?
No,
we hoped for that.
Well, originally we had the idea to kickstart the game, but as soon as we showed the first prototype to our international partners, it was very clear that we have something very good in our hands. And the first print run was, I think, 50,000 copies. So yeah.
I mean,
so when you have a game like this, when you have a game that's that popular, how do you, every other game, it's hard to live up to that, how popular how popular Ice Cool is, right?
Well, exactly, yeah. And that's, of course, a pressure to us as a publishing house, and at the same time to us as game designers. We brought out Ice Cool 2 now, and we have some plans for next year for Ice Cool expansion.
Yeah. Clearly,
can you tell us anything about this expansion?
Sure. Yes, it's gonna be literally the next level.
Yeah.
So the next level in terms of it's gonna be second level for Ice Cool.
Yeah, to second floor, like the second story. You'll be able to go very high up now.
Finally, my jumping will come in handy. So I'm assuming there'll be like ramps or something?
No, there is going to be actually something. Well, what we're thinking now might be the chimney where you have to get into. And once you are in the chimney, it's going to be a room, like a small room, and you bounce the system and it bounces you to the second floor.
Yeah, it catapults you to the second floor because it's going to be even higher than I think you can jump, Tom. I'm thinking. I don't know how high you can do it, but I think it's higher than that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is probably closer to the end of 2019?
Most likely, yeah.
We hope so, yeah. And this is something that we are actually thinking of maybe having in Kickstarter, because that is going to be, it looks like right now that it's going to be only an expansion that might be, not so feasible for the retail market at once. So we're thinking of actually maybe putting it on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are watching this, really, this is a contest unlike any other. There's lots of contests to win games and win money and things like that. Here you're going to win a trip to a place that very few people in the world have ever gone to. So again, send these videos. They have a slew of judges who will be looking at these, who are highly qualified, and they also me. So I love to watch some really cool videos, think up some great ideas, and that's at icecoolantarctica.com. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us. Thanks a lot.
my name's Annette, and you may know me as Netters Plays. And today on Applied Mechanics, I'm going to go over the game of Azul Stained Glass. This is the sequel to its predecessor of Azul, which is a family-based game where you're picking up a bunch of items and you're placing them on certain locations. In this case, you're making a grandiose palace out of stained glass. So let me show you a little bit about this game and why I really like it. On a player's turn, you can take one of two actions. The first action would be to take any of the window panes from a certain factory, just like the base game of Azul. You take all the window panes of one type, and whatever's left over goes into the center. The other option would be to take the window panes of the same color, along with the first player marker if you're the first person to do so. Whenever you take the first player marker, you're also going to break glass, which will score you negative points at the end of the game. You can place the window panes based on where your glacier is located, either on that strip or anywhere to the right of it. When you complete a full strip, then you'll be able to score points. First, you see if you get any color bonus points by matching the colors on that strip with the round color that you're in. You'll grab one of the window panes from the strip that you just completed and you place it into the palace window. You'll score the points below it along with any other windows to the right of it that you've also completed. The rest of the window panes will be collected in the glass tower. The first time you complete a strip, you'll be able to flip it over, or if you completed it a second time, then the strip will be removed. If you didn't collect any window panes and place them, then your other option on your turn could be just to reset by placing your glacier to the left. The way that you pick up those window panes is exactly like its predecessor of Azul. The only difference is how you lay down those tiles. You place them on these different strips, and they're all randomized. What I do like about this game is that you're not stuck having to pick tiles from a certain factory. You can forego that by just moving your glacier back. There's a lot of variability with this game, and it makes Azul brand new. And that's why I like Azul Stained Glass. Well, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi, Mike Delisio from Solomode Games. Recently, a friend of mine came back from Essen in Germany, and he picked up a little roll and write game among many others that I had a chance to play with him, and it's called Bricks. This is by Wolfgang Warsch, who's a very hot designer right now, and I was so taken by the game that I went ahead on Amazon DE and picked up a copy to import here to the United States. And so I don't know what it was exactly about this game that struck me. It's not a groundbreaking game by any means. It's a roll and write. And it's been very, very well documented that roll and writes are extremely popular, and to some people's consternation, maybe they're too popular and maybe people are getting sick of them. But not only is this a roll and write game, but it's also another example of a type of game that seems to be getting more and more popular, and that's the Tetris style game, where you've got kind of the Tetromino, if I'm saying that right, pieces. But I think most of us are familiar with Tetris. And so you've got the Uwe Rosenberg trilogy of games that are based along these kind of Tetris pieces. And I really, really enjoyed those games too. And so I started to wonder, why is it that these particular types of games, these Tetris types of games, tend to appeal to me? Well, I think part of it has to do with just the puzzle nature of it, and they are particularly well suited for solo games because they're primarily puzzle type games. But I think there's a little bit more to it than that. I think there's a spatial element of these Tetris style games that I really tend to enjoy. It's got a little bit of mitigation that you usually have to deal with, or how am I going to do the best that I can with these pieces. And I think that these types of games also appeal to my tactical nature. I'm much more of a tactical gamer than I am a strategic gamer, and so these games are much more about how can I make the best out of these pieces that I might have to be faced with this particular turn. And so I was wondering if anybody else kind of had this same affinity for, obviously these games are very popular, so other people do, but do you think that there's a particular reason beyond just kind of the spatial element? What is it about these Tetris-style games that are so appealing and have made them so popular? So if you could let me know your thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.
All right, so for my thinking today, it's Tom and Eric things. We just thought we'd talk a little bit about PAX Unplugged 2018 and our thoughts on it, because people keep asking me. And the one thing everyone says, how does it compare to last year? I was like, well...
It's bigger.
And better. I mean, I feel like they just improved and...
Sure. I don't think there were any like giant sweeping differences. It still had the same vibe. It was significantly bigger. They took a chunk of the exhibit hall that was it used to be theater. It was like an entire stage it's set up before, and now it's exhibit hall space. They flip-flopped some things, just made a lot more room in that one main space.
And moved it to a nice theater. Oh
yes.
My goodness, yes.
Yes, there was a very nice theater where we got to do our show. I think they moved some events downstairs. That was space that was reserved for the marathon last year that they were able to take over. They were able to spread out more. I didn't hear what the final numbers were. Did you get any official numbers?
No, someone told me 20% increase. They might be released by the time this video goes live. The things about PAX that I caught my eye, one, their staff is really second to none.
Sure. They really set an example that a lot of the other conventions could learn from as far as accessibility. There is always an enforcer nearby to deal with any issues that come up. They're there to help. You know their names. We had like our own personal, we weren't his only booth, but he was our dedicated enforcer for the course of the convention. If there was an issue, we knew how to get him. And people always willing to answer questions and help.
And they walk around with a board that says, you have questions, I might have answers.
Yeah. Just stellar customer service at PAX, really setting a good example. And that's the experience of them running the video game conventions for so many years.
And we didn't have, the weather was fine. The food, of course, I've come to the conclusion that they win the food battle.
I had at least one person come to the booth to complain about you saying that Philly wasn't the best convention food.
They probably talked to me too, because someone told me that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Columbus. Philly has you beat now.
I think so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not just, because you have the North Market, and then we have the Pennsylvania. What was that market called?
Oh, the
market right
station.
Yeah, street station. That's better than North Market. It just is. But not just that. There's Chinatown right around the corner with a huge amount of really delicious, authentic restaurants. There's restaurants in all different directions. It's just really amazing.
Yeah.
And that's like all walking. You start driving a bit, and it's it's crazy. And I kind of like the atmosphere. It's also really easy to get around in. The open gaming, the hot games room.
Yes.
But here's the biggest reason I like it better than Origins. Don't get me wrong, we're not downing Origins. Origins is a fine con. But you pay to get in PAX, you're done.
Yeah.
That's a really big deal. You don't got to pay for open gaming. You don't got to pay to do their library. You don't have to pay to go to the special area. You don't have to pay to go to any of the events. You just line up and go to them.
Yeah.
And it works really well. There's people around, they keep the peace. I'm just very impressed with the whole thing.
That's a model that I think the other big cons haven't wanted to embrace. Origins and Gen Con both have scheduled ticketed events where you have to pay more on top of your ticket to do all this stuff. And I think they're just reluctant to give up that revenue stream. PAX started out not doing that, and I think it's just a much more accessible experience. The only thing that's possibly a downside is that if you want to see a particular panel, you have to line up for it. You can't have a ticket knowing that you have a seat in something. You need to get in line.
That's true, and I can see that being a problem. But if you're looking for open gaming, this is the best big con for open gaming, hands down.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not including Dice Tower and BGG. Those are medium cons to me.
Medium cons, yeah.
But for this, definitely for Origins and Gen Con, They both of them have different rooms that you pay to go in, or you play out in a big open space, but then you're kind of just going. There's not like a free library. Both Gen Con and Origins charge you to use the library.
Right. I mean, the PAX library, not only do they have the hot games just out, ready to be played, which a lot of cons do, but there are people teaching them, but then the library is just, you walk up and your convention badge gets you access to all these games, and many of them are also brand new releases. It's just a solid way to play games, and those tables were busy all day long.
And well, PAX sent staff to Essen to make sure all the good games came back.
I actually ran into one of them on one of the shuttle buses in, I think, Dublin, who was carting 3 or 4 suitcases they had in their personal possession, had suitcases full of stuff to make it back in time, rather than shipping it on a pallet, which sometimes causes things not to arrive on time.
What? What are you talking about? So anyway, it was a very enjoyable experience. To each and every one of you who came up and said hi, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We had a really friendly crowd of people too. It was a good experience overall.
Except for that one guy.
Oh, you know who you are.
No, everybody was really good. Like nobody ever comes to the booths and like, I hate you guys. It's, everybody's really friendly.
Had people whose games I have murderized come up and be super friendly at the booth. I don't know what that means. When
I'm
I
not
wake
sure.
up,
Maybe they're
there'll
planning
be
something.
a meeple head in my bed, and I'll be like, no! Cubes scattered throughout.
Just everywhere.
Alrighty, let's keep going.
Randy and Ellen, we game together.
It's your turn.
Ooh.
Could you hand me that gum right there?
We are not chewing gum anymore during videos.
Fine.
Hi, I'm Randy.
I'm Ellen. Hey guys. Welcome to We Game Together. Today we're going to be talking about
Dinosaur Island. Dinosaur Island.
Oniram. We're going to talk about Oniram. Okay. So the kids are off at school, and I have some alone time. So I've been starting to play solo games. So Oniram is one of them.
Okay, now. We can talk about Oniram, but I'm in the video.
So that's fine. That's fine. I was missing you. Your space felt a little lonely
Little white area too much on this,
too
on this
much,
side of the screen.
Yeah. Okay, so we've had this for a while in our game closet, and I never picked it up because I'm scared. I'm way too scared to solo, guys. But
I've picked this up. This is actually one of the first games I've purchased as far as the collection goes. This was kind of before you started playing a lot of games, and I was looking for something that I could do by myself even, that kind of scratched my board game itch.
Yeah.
So Oniram, Friday, which is another solo game, a couple of them that I picked up pretty early on, and it's a fantastic little game.
This is such a fun game. I don't really understand. The only thing I don't understand is that the little toy, it's like, it's got to stare at you. I'm like, but why? But it is so cute, and it's solid. I love that. I love building the sets, the sun, the key, the moon. I think that's really fun to do that. Some people were really annoyed at the amount of shuffling. Yeah, so was I at first, but I don't know. Over time, I'm like, it's kind of relaxing.
I have the app too, and I've played it maybe a dozen times on the app, but I still prefer the physical version, and you don't need to shuffle them that much. Once you look through the deck, you just kind of give them a couple of half shuffles. You don't need to do like a full
half shuffle,
a full riffle shuffle.
You don't have to do that. So anyways, this is a fantastic solo game. On here it says 2-player too, right?
Yeah, there's a 2-player that we've never really tried.
We haven't tried it yet.
I think it's basically plays the same. It'd be interesting now that you
try it.
Yeah, now that you've played it before, maybe we'll give that a go.
And also, this includes some expansions, which I have not.
The expansions were good.
Yeah, tried.
They're really cool.
Baby steps, one step at a dang time.
I would say
for
put
me.
all 7 in and then give it a shot.
And then try it. So that'd be fun. I could totally handle it, and I would not be calling you freaking out at all. So, anyways.
Oniram, check it out.
Oniram.
And the photo of the day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi, Suzanne here with this week's featured board game app. Morels is a well-liked 2-player card game full of fungus and butter. What's not to love? The app version recently released from new development shop Mossbark Games, so let's take a look. In Morels, players are harvesting different mushroom cards and trying to cook them up in sets in pan cards. You can use butter or apple cider cook bonuses if you've got enough of the same type of fungus, and you can also take a chance on moon cards, which will boost your mushroom count, but you're not quite sure which mushroom you'll get. With a bit of hand management, you have to decide when to store up mushrooms to cook or when to trade them for sticks, which will allow you to collect mushrooms from further up the line. The Morels app looks polished. It uses the art from the card game, and the interface is intuitive. I've played mostly on the phone, and while the cards and writing are quite small, I think it's very playable on a small screen, especially once you know the rules well and recognize the cards by art more than the little print. The interactive tutorial will teach you how to play the game, and the rules are included and set up nicely for quick reference if you need it. Morels has 3 levels of AI, and a nice touch is that you can rename your AI opponent each game to kind of personalize the experience. You can also play online using random matchups or create your own personal friend code. Mossbart Games is a newcomer to the board game app world, and they've made a good first impression. Morels is a simple game, and the app makes it a pleasure to play on the go, especially since all the card sliding is managed through the app, removing one of the more fiddly elements of the physical game. The Morels app is the kind of app that you quick play for a relaxing end-of-day game or kill time with a friend as you wait in line for an event. Give it a try.
This is Gaming with the People, and this is
Sarah.
Ticket to Ride.
Oh, I don't get an intro.
I didn't say my name, did I?
I don't think so. Fun fact, we met in New York City.
Aww.
Aw, guys, it's going to be our 10-year anniversary coming up.
Ticket to Ride. It seems so popular you don't even have to really explain it. But you have routes.
Ticket to Ride involves tickets, and you take them.
On rides.
I think that sums it up. Thanks for tuning in. I wonder why they didn't go Subway. I don't know.
We would have to talk to Mr. Moon about it.
You keep name dropping. I don't know who these people are. Did he make the game?
Yes.
Great job, Mr. Moon. Great job.
We're never going to get invited to the Gathering of Friends if you don't know who Alan Moon is.
Alan Moon. Did he make a lot of games?
Yeah.
It's got a fun vintage feel to it, which I really like.
Yeah.
I like the artwork. I obviously have an attachment to New York City. I have a slight complaint that Brooklyn is listed, but you can't get to Queens.
There's even a third way to score that is not in the other Ticket to Ride games, which is hitting sites like Statue of Liberty, United Nations, things like that. Connecting those,
Queens.
you get.
Oh, wait.
No, Queens.
What's the matter, Mr. Moon? You never been to Queens?
Stop.
Brooklyn?
We're trying to get Mr. Moon to like us.
Who doesn't like us? Don't answer that.
Don't comment below.
Don't comment below.
We're sensitive. Alan Moon, very famous.
Nice to meet you, Alan. I really enjoy your game.
Invite us to the Gathering of Friends.
Invite us to the Gathering of Friends. Is that a thing? It's like sounds like the last step. It's a
We're
very
never going to get
important
invited.
thing. Is it a party or like a convention?
Hey guys, I am super excited today because we're going to talk about one of my favorites. We're going to deep dive into the world of Abyss by the incredible Javier or Xavier Coletti. The power of the Abyss has once again become vacant, and you can now challenge to claim the throne of the deep sea. In order to do that, you have to recruit allies, persuade lords, and exploit locations and fight monsters. Once you have gained enough influence with the council, the throne is yours. The world that Xavier crafted here is absolutely incredible. His art is on everything from the game board itself to the allies that will help you influence the council, the amazing lord cards, and the fantastic location boards. I remember going to the local game store and thinking to myself, what cover do I want to pick for this game? Because every single one of them is amazing. My 2 favorite components of this game have to be the Lord cards and the location boards. The location boards are just a thing of beauty, beautiful underwater landscapes, if you want to call them. And the Lord cards have a ton of character, either it being the real militaristic lords or the more diplomatic ones. Thing of beauty here. So now let's check out a few places where you can see more of his artwork. First is my absolute favorite, his Tumblr page. It's coleandrium.tumblr.com. I can stay on this page for days just scrolling through all his artwork, from his fan art to his various projects. It is all here. He even has some videos where he shows off some of his projects and process. I especially like checking out his fan art. Next up, we have his DeviantArt account. It's www.deviantart.com/Coleandre. He posts more of his art and shows artwork that he himself is interested in. Then we have his social media accounts. Both his Facebook and Instagram accounts are at Coleandrium. And of the two, his Instagram is where you're going to be seeing more of his artwork. And his Facebook is going to be more where you're going to get news and updates of things that maybe he has coming up in the future. I would check them both out to see which one you might like better. Who knows? I think we are lucky as board gamers to have someone as talented as Xavier provide us with some stunning artwork. Whether it's his various board game projects, comic books, or fan art, I love it all, and I think you guys should really check out his stuff. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. Next time, I'm going to do my top 5 games of 2018 that have the best artwork. I think it should be fun and something new for me to do, so I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. Remember to check me out on all the various social media, and until next time, enjoy your breakfast.
Hello, my name's Dan, this is Cora, and we're here today to talk to you about board games for young children. And today, we're going to be talking about this game. What is it, Cora?
Jurassic Snack.
Jurassic Snack.
Jurassic Snack.
Come on. Jurassic Snack is a 2-player game where you play competing herds of diplodocuses grazing grasslands. Each player's got 4 diplodocuses, and on their turn is going to choose one of them and move it in a straight line until it hits a grass token, the edge of the board, or another dinosaur. If you hit a grass token, then you pick it up and then see what special powers it's got underneath it. Powers can be things like extra moves, peeking at what powers other tiles have, or bringing a T-Rex onto the board. And once a T-Rex appears, then things get serious. Now the players can also choose to move the T-Rex, and if it runs into a poor unsuspecting Diplodocus, then it's going to eat it. The winner of the game is a person who collects the most grass tiles, or the person who manages to eat all their opponent's Diplodocuses. Okay, Cora, what did you think about Jurassic Snack?
I like the tiles, I like the grass bits.
Yeah? You like turning over the grass bits and seeing what actions you can take?
Yeah, I
and
like
stuff
the front of the grass bits.
Oh, right, okay, the pictures and stuff. Yes. I like the little plastic dinosaurs as well. You can't go wrong with a little plastic dinosaur, can you? So, this game's by Bruno Cathala, who's one of my favourite board game designers. And I've met him in real life, you know. Oh, yeah, Friends to the Stars. He wouldn't know who I was, but I shook his hand. This is a really good abstract game. It's quite complex. It's probably about as complex an abstract game as we've got, really.
It's hard.
It is hard.
In other words, it's hard.
In other words, it's hard. And it's quite hard for Cora to kind of grasp the thinking ahead and the tactical moving and stuff. But they're all good skills to learn, so that's not a problem that it's hard for Cora. And you enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yes.
Even though I won convincingly. Did you see that? That was abuse.
I like what you did.
So, we give...
I always punch him when he's like making fun of me. Like, I just punch him when I want to.
Making fun of you? I never make fun of you.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You did.
We give Jurassic Snack to dinosaurs eating grass. Thumbs up. She just punched me under the table then.
I'm full.
So, this is episode 100 of Dead Last, because I've been doing this for 2.5 years, which is a thing, I guess. What on earth was I thinking? I just want to talk very briefly, because it's rather self-serving, about how board games have changed my life, which sounds ridiculous, but it's very true. Because board games have changed my life, you know. The friends I've made, the places I've been, and the community I'm in, none of that would have happened without doing some board game stuff and starting with playing board games, which is nonsense, but it's fundamentally changed my whole world, really. And none of that would have happened either if I hadn't have plucked up the courage to talk to Tom at UK Games Expo 2.5 years ago and say, hey, I'd like to do a segment. And then he said, yes, that'd be great if it's any good. And here I am trying to fill 2 minutes each week with some mildly entertaining, useful information of nonsense and maybe a joke. Maybe. So I would like to just say thank you to Tom. He doesn't know I'm doing this, but he probably won't watch it. But it's fine. So thank you, Tom. And I just say, because I'm the kind of person who does not take advice, but if you want to do something and you think you could do it, then do it. Because I thought, I could do this maybe, and it's changed my life. So if you want to try and do something, then you should give it a go. I mean, it might go terribly, obviously, but there's only one way to find out. And lastly, I would obviously like to thank everyone who watches this segment. You're all a fantastic and wonderful community, and I just really am very grateful and honoured and privileged to be a part of it. So thank you very much. And I'm going to carry on doing Dead Last for a good while longer, I hope. So until then, bye.
And that's it for another Board Game Breakfast. Eric will be back next year.
Next year. Maybe.
Oh, but you can see Eric this Wednesday.
I can on Dice Tower tonight.
Dice Tower tonight. If you like this back and forth, and you're like, it seems like it's missing something. Well, Crystal's
Crystal,
there, right? Add some Crystal Light. That doesn't work.
And when Crystal and I team up, it gets geeky.
I will stop this nonsense.
No, you won't.
All right. So that's coming up on Wednesday. Like I said, different shows coming up. If you did not watch Crowd Surfing this past Wednesday, which you should have because Eric was on that too, we launched a contest there for Awakened Realms. You definitely want to be part of that contest. You want to jump in on that. So go watch that episode to see how to enter a contest to win their brand new game that's on Kickstarter right now. So, alrighty, I think that's it for this time. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Eric Summerer.
And you've been watching Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vassell and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production, sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., an amazing place to buy board games. Cool stuff in stock at coolstuffinc.com.